Today we'll be talking about uh, the supports of the pelvic viscera, the perineum, and the pouches, the perineal pouches. We have the deep perineal pouch and we have the superficial perineal pouch. Okay, so starting first off, there is something called as a superiorly placed pelvis and an inferiorly placed perineum with the pelvic diaphragm separating them. Okay, so within the pelvis we have the pelvic viscera. What are the pelvic viscera? We have the bladder, the uterus, and the rectum. Okay, along with the prostate in males. And what do we have in the perineum? Within the perineum, we have the opening of the pelvic viscera. So you'll be having the urethra for the bladder, you will be having the vagina connected to the uterus, and you'll be having the anus connected to the rectum. Okay, so the opening of the pelvic viscera is located within the perineum. Okay, so now starting first off with the pelvic diaphragm. Okay, so the pelvic diaphragm is composed of two muscles. We have one which is the levator ani and the second is the iliococcygeus muscle. The levator ani in turn is composed of two muscles. Okay, so we have the pubococcygeus and the iliococcygeus which compose the levator ani, and it's responsible for elevating the anus. And this is the iliococcygeus, which is not a part of levator ani, but both of them together form the pelvic diaphragm. Okay, so pelvic diaphragm is nothing but it holds the pelvic viscera upwards. It supports the base of the pelvic viscera. Okay, now talking about the perineal pouches. Okay, so how do we approach that? So first of all, this is the exterior and this is more towards the interior of the body. Okay, and this is inferior aspect, this is the superior aspect. Okay, so as we go on dissecting from inferior to superior, we'll encounter the skin. Then we'll have this black color marked Colles fascia, which is also known as superficial perineal fascia. Then after the Colles fascia, you will encounter what is known as the superficial perineal pouch and its contents. Then you'll have the perineal membrane. Perineal membrane is nothing but the separation or the boundary between the superficial and the deep perineal pouch. Okay. Then once you remove the perineal membrane, then you'll reach the deep perineal pouch. And then just above the deep perineal pouch, you'll be having the pelvic diaphragm and the pelvic viscera above it. Okay, so starting again, skin, Colles fascia, we enter the superficial perineal pouch. Okay, now what all do we have within the superficial perineal pouch? Okay, so we have the root or the bulb. Both are the same thing, bulb or the root of the penis, which is covered by bulbospongiosus muscle. Okay, along with that, if you see in another section, you'll be having the ischiocavernosus muscles on the lateral side. Okay, so this is more medially located bulbocavernosus, and on both the sides you have the ischiocavernosus muscle. Okay, and you'll have the spongy urethra. Now note that the spongy urethra is composed of two parts. One which is within the bulb of the penis, that is the bulbar spongy urethra, and the one which continues in front of that, the penile spongy urethra. The penile spongy urethra is distally covered by an expansion known as glans penis. Okay. Now, other than that, we also have a dorsal nerve of the penis. Okay, which is located within the superficial perineal pouch. Okay, and summarizing the superficial perineal pouch, we have the roof, which is formed by the perineal membrane, the floor, which is formed by the Colles fascia and the skin and subcutaneous tissue. Contents, we have the bulb of the penis, the bulbospongiosus, ischiocavernosus, the bulbar spongy urethra, penile spongy urethra, and the dorsal nerve of penis. Okay. Now, approaching or going deeper, we reach the deeper perineal pouch. So, the deep perineal pouch, what is it composed of? An external urethral sphincter. Okay, so this is the voluntary urethral sphincter under pudendal nerve control, under a somatic control. And then we have the deep transverse perineal muscle. Okay, so deep transverse perineal and external urethral sphincter together, they form they constitute what is known as the urogenital diaphragm. So this is basically the entire area of the deep perineal pouch. So deep perineal pouch is basically an anatomical space whose major content is nothing but the urogenital diaphragm composed of EUS, external urethral sphincter, and the deep transverse perineum and the membranous urethra in the middle. Okay, then what is the roof? Okay, so the roof is nothing but you'll be having over here the ischiorectal fossa. Okay, the ischiorectal fossa is bounded by pelvic diaphragm above. You have the obturator internus muscle covered by the obturator fascia. You'll be having a pudendal canal. So the ischiorectal fossa is the roof. Then floor will be formed by the perineal membrane, of course, and medially you'll be having the urethra and the other structures. Now, so this was the deep perineal pouch. Coming to what is above the pelvic diaphragm. Above the pelvic diaphragm, we'll be having the prostate and the prostatic urethra, and we'll be having the neck of the urinary bladder. Now, please note that the neck of the urinary bladder is similar as the terminology which was used for it before. It's known as the internal urethral sphincter. And in the modern day textbooks, they often mention that this internal urethral sphincter is absent or very poorly developed in females, whereas it is very prominently and better developed in males. So that was all about it. And just summarizing once again, as we go from superficial, that is outside, to deep, okay, we'll have the skin, the Colles fascia, the superficial perineal pouch composed of spongy urethra, bulbar penile urethra are the parts of spongy urethra, dorsal nerve of penis, bulbospongiosis, ischiocavernosus, Cowper's gland, and Dacia. That's something which I missed. So the Cowper's gland is something which is present in the deep perineal pouch, but its duct opening is located within the superficial perineal pouch. It opens into the bulbar spongy urethra, which is a part of the superficial perineal pouch. And then you have the bulb, or the part of the penis. Then we have the perineal membrane, which is the separation between the SPP and the DPP. This DPP is composed of the urogenital diaphragm and the Cowper's gland. And then just above that, we have the ischiorectal fossa. Let me just draw it for you. So you'll be having the ischiorectal fossa. Okay, this is the obturator muscle covered by the obturator's internus muscle covered by the obturator fascia, and you'll have the pudendal canal with the pudendal neurovascular bundle. That is the pudendal nerve, pudendal artery, pudendal vein, and then you have the pelvic diaphragm and the pelvic viscera. A similar diagram could be, replicated for uterus with the vagina or rectum with the anal canal. Okay, I hope it has cleared a lot of concepts and doubts of yours, and thank you.